famous actor Tom Selleck attributes acting success to following Jesus Christ. Tom Selleck might indeed be the only male ever to look good sporting a moustache, his famous trademark. A gentleman through and through, Selleck has not always enjoyed an easy life, but he's worked hard and tried to live ethically, as he puts it. In this video, you're going to hear a little bit about Selleck's life and career and how his godly values have always kept him on the right path. Selleck was born in Detroit, Michigan in 1945 and is the second of 4 children. His parents were working class, his father was a carpenter and his mother stayed at home to look after the house and children. By the time Tom was in his early teens, his father had moved the family to Sherman Oaks, California, so that he could invest in real estate. This was indeed far more lucrative for the family. Tom's father was very strict. He was known to have beaten Tom when he misbehaved, but by the time he was ready to graduate, Tom had become a keen sportsman with an aptitude for athletics. Selleck managed to earn himself a basketball scholarship and enrolled at the University of Southern California. It was a drama coach that suggested Selleck try out acting in Hollywood. In 1965, he first appeared on The Dating Game, and from this he scored many different advertisement roles, including one for Pepsi-Cola. During these roles, he remained a humble man, gentle and honest, living by his godly values. Upon graduating, Selleck was offered an acting contract by 20th Century Fox. In an interview on the matter, Selleck said, "I think when I went to Fox, I was on my own, with no frame of reference, no connection. I'd never done a play in my life. I started at about $35 a week, and every 6 months you either got fired or renewed. If you got renewed, you got a raise on their term contracts." In 1967, however, Tom's life took a sharp turn from acting as he was drafted into the US Army. Tom joined the California National Guard 160th Infantry Regiment, where he served for a total of 6 years. Selleck says of his time spent in the Army that it is something he's proud of. After leaving the Army, Selleck returned to Hollywood to once again pursue a career in acting. He worked his way to the top when in 1980, at age 35, he received the big break he'd been searching for. Tom was offered the leading role as Thomas Magnum in Magnum P.I. This did indeed change his life forever. The show ran for 8 seasons and was very successful all over the world. From this, in 1984, he won an Emmy Award for Outstanding Lead Actor in a Drama Series. Since appearing in Magnum P.I, Selleck has been in over 50 films and TV shows, including 3 Men and a Baby. Although he was offered many other roles during his time as Magnum, he was tied into a contract stating that he could not play any other characters. This meant giving up films like Indiana Jones and Star Wars, but Selleck is not bitter. Recognising that Magnum was the best thing to ever happen to him, and proud that he'd lived up to his contract, he stated, "I got to look my mum and dad in the eye, and we don't do that, so I did Magnum. That's not so bad, is it?" No, it's not. Tom attributes his success in Hollywood to Jesus Christ. "A man's heart plans his way, but the Lord directs his steps," Selleck said. "Humble yourselves, therefore, under God's mighty hand, that he may lift you up in due time." The meaning behind this scripture is clear for Selleck, and poignant for those of us who follow Christ. We can spend all of our time and efforts trying to do something in life, perhaps get rich or gain notoriety, but unless God is in it, it's all pretty futile. What's the point of making plans if it's not God's will for your life, or if it doesn't follow a godly lifestyle? Placing God at the centre of what you do and allowing him to lead you is surely the way to go. Indeed, the next verse talks about placing oneself under God's mighty hand, allowing him to be in control and seeing that in due time he will lift you up. We can see from this video that this is what happened to Tom Selleck as he followed God's path for his life. Tom has said that he tries to conduct himself in a way that is upright and ethical, because he knows that it's important to his stability. He believes that the culture we're living in is too focused on the individual and that people are too concerned with how they feel and getting what they want. He continued, "We're living in an age that celebrates unchecked impulses. I work with exceptional kids, gang kids, deprived kids, enriched kids, and they all have the same astounding sense of entitlement. They don't celebrate earning the privilege of driving at 16. They expect a car. There's a big difference. Selleck has always been very quiet about his faith, saying that he's not a very religious man. However, his work life and values demonstrate his godly lifestyle. The entertainment world could certainly do with more men and women of God who value living in a way that thinks of others and is not so selfish and single-minded. Share this video so that others can hear Tom's wise words and see what a gentleman he is.